All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. If you are on this Zoom and you are a defendant or a person accused, your video needs to be shown. You have 10 minutes to show your video. If your video is not shown, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. The only time your video is not to be shown is probably when you're signing paperwork. The rules of the 187 District Court is you are in a courtroom. So that means whatever you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you violate these rules, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. That will result in you having to drive downtown through traffic. You're going to find a lot of construction. Thank you. And when you find a lot of construction, what's going to end up happening is you're going to find even more one-ways than you previously had. And if you're able to find parking, you're going to realize that parking has increased. So today is Thursday. Let's keep it a Thursday. Let's not try to turn it into a Monday. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically assign you to a breakout room. To all of those who are Zooming from their home, you're not allowed to be fixing breakfast. You're not allowed to be doing laundry. If you're at work, you need to tell your employer you need to take a break. Again, if you could not physically do what you're doing, if you were in the courtroom, you are not allowed to do on this Zoom screen. To all defendants and those who are accused, your attorney's name will be called, your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom or your attorney had to appear in person. You will have a chance to speak with your attorneys. Your attorney will probably want to speak with the prosecutor before they speak with you. So when your attorney is sent to a breakout room, if your attorney wants you in that breakout room, your attorney will request that you be in that breakout room. Attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small that agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to the court coordinator. She is listed as Ferguson coordinator. Please do not text her, email, or chat her asking her for a continuance. I'm the only person who can do that. To all the attorneys, it will make it quicker for me to place you into breakout rooms if you add it to your name, the name of your client, and whether or not it is criminal trial division, CTD, or family violence, FV. If you do that, it will be easier for me to assign you. When you're assigned to a breakout room, think of those breakout rooms as going to the doctor's office. When you go to the doctor's office and the nurse calls you to the back, you're not seeing the doctor right away. They're checking your weight and your blood pressure. To all the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box. You're not allowed to use the internet. If you do any of those things, you will be sent back, and we may be able to see you in 30 or 60 days because, as you know, there is a shortage at the jail. So everyone, let's make this a happy Thursday and let's not turn it into a Monday. Attorneys, this is the order in which you will appear. Justin Fox, John Robertson, Joey Contreras, Lauren Lefton, Phyllis Beal, Johnny Cisneros, Miguel Hernandez, Richard Garcia, Derek Edmonds. Is there any defense attorney's name that I have missed?
I'm sorry, Judge, did you call Joseph Stateson?
All right, Joseph, I don't know how I always miss you.
No problem. No problem.
All
Thank
right.
you, Judge.
Judge, by chance, did you call me Justin Fox?
You're the first person I called, Justin.
Oh my goodness, Judge, I'm sorry.
Can I put you at the end of the line? Should this be where a first you'll become last?
I'm still having my coffee, Judge, but I like your energy this morning.
All right. So Justin Fox, what's the name of your client?
It's John Cullens, Your Honor.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
And Judge, I don't think I heard you call my name either.
Donald Wilson?
Yes.
All right, I will add you to the list. And Justin, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. John Robertson, thank you for changing your name.
You're welcome.
You just made this a Friday. I appreciate that. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
I've been confirmed with Joe Ray.
All right. Before you go, let me just put a request for Joe Ray in your name. All right. Joey Contreras.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, who do you have?
Carlos Landine Trial Division.
I'm sorry, what's the last name?
Landine,
Okay, I will send you to number 5.
thank you, Judge.
Oh, you're welcome. Laura Lefton.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Yes, thanks for changing your name. You've made it a
No
Friday.
problem. I'm excited. This is actually a violation report setting that the court made, so I don't know if I need to confer necessarily. or
Yes,
just-
yes, you do. So I'm sending you to number 6.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Phyllis Bill.
Yes, yes, Judge, we have an agreement and we've already sent chat messages to get the paperwork started.
All right, and who is your client?
Kavonda Jackson.
All right, let me see here. Is your client on Zoom?
You know what, I have not.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay,
I
awesome.
was looking for the papers I'm supposed to sign. I don't have them.
Okay, just give us a second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you and your attorney to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
All right, I sent you both to number 1. And Ms. Bill, if there's an issue with paperwork, Ms. Ferguson will find out where it is. Johnny Cisneros. Oh, you're on mute, Johnny. Oops, let me help him out here.
Okay, I believe I'm on unmute now.
Yes, you are.
Okay, Your Honor, we need a reset. I spoke to Ms. Caitlin yesterday and we need a reset, please. They need to do a little bit more discovery. We had a meeting with them yesterday with my client and they need to follow up on some of the conversations that we had, please.
All right, just give me one moment.
Thank you.
Miguel Hernandez.
Good morning, Your Honor. If I could speak to Mr. Saunders, Marcus.
What is your client's
Saunders.
name?
Oh, Antonio Melendez, CTD.
I'll send you to number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Richard Garcia.
Judge, I have a plea from yesterday, but I haven't received the paperwork or anything.
All right, who is your client?
It's Guadalupe Rios. He's a
What's
Spanish
the
speaker.
is criminal trial division? Was it criminal trial division?
No, I believe it's family violence. It's with Joe Ray.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to number 8 and we're going to find out where that paperwork is.
Okay.
And Ms. Ferguson, could you go to number 8 as well, please? And Richard Garcia, where is your client? Is he in the courtroom?
He was yesterday.
All right, I'll send you to number 8 and we'll see what's going on. Derek Edmonds.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning. You changed your name. I appreciate it. You made it a Friday.
You trained me well, Judge.
I'm going to send you to number 9.
Thank you.
Joseph Stetson, you always make it a Friday. Thanks for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
Donna Wilson. Oh my gosh, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to 11. It's like a birthday.
All right. Thanks.
Megan Enriquez. Megan Enriquez.
Yes, Judge. I'm here for John Coons on Manuel Martinez, and it is family violence.
Oh my gosh, you changed your name too. It is like truly a great day when this happens. I'm going to send you to number 12.
Thank you.
Tim Molina, don't you fail me. Tim Molina. Oh my gosh.
Good. I'm on my phone, Judge, at a courthouse, so I don't know how to change my name. But it's Eugene Salazar, and I believe it's trial division.
All right, so when you're on your phone, when you click on participants and you see your name, when your name pops up, you'll see an arrow and you click on that and it'll say rename.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna send you to number 13. That's a lucky breakout room.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Suzanne Kramer, thank you for changing your name. I'm gonna send you to number 14.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we're gonna start with Johnny Cisneros. Who are you speaking with?
Caitlin, Your Honor. I'm gonna change my name too.
What is your
Maybe my wife won't think she's married to me anymore.
What's your client's name?
Blake Wilburn, Your Honor. Family violence. So we had a meeting yesterday, and with the discussions that we had, they need to follow up on some information. So we need a reset, please.
All right, just give me a moment.
Thank you.
Just as soon as the court coordinator, well, just one second. Let me go to number 8. I'll be right back. All right, Johnny Cisneros, on your case, are you saying the state is looking into some information you've given, or?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to recall your case for December 14th. You and your client are excused.
December 13th, Your Honor?
14th.
You said the 13th, Your Honor?
No, December 14th.
14th. Okay,
1-4.
thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Sure, no problem. So you and your client are excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day. All right, who is back from the breakout room? Joey Contreras, and then I'll take up John Robertson.
Yeah, Your Honor, I've conferred with Joe Ray. We have an offer.
You skipped in line. I said Joey Contreras, then I take up John Robertson.
Joey will always yield to me, I think.
Okay, Joey Contreras. Joey Contreras, do you yield?
John's up to his old tricks, Judge. Anyway, there's a whole list of enumerated list of discovery items. I spoke with Miss McIntyre. I'm going to get her an email, and this is our first setting, and there's quite a bit of stuff missing. So we just need to come back after they start running this stuff down.
All right, Norma, can I have a 30-day reset on Carlos Landon for discovery? If you'll put it in the chat box, please. Joey, I thought you were going to say, I will yield my time to the good gentleman, John Robinson from Bear County.
Maybe I should have done that, Judge. I was being a little uncivilized there.
No. All right. Let me see what the date is.
All right.
And while I'm waiting for that date, John Robertson, what's happening with your client?
Judge, we got an offer I think we're going to be able to agree to. I wanted to see if we could maybe recall it the week after Thanksgiving to set it for a plea. I'm kind of jammed up later this morning. I have to leave the county here.
All right, just one moment. Let me get a chat.
Judge, I think I was just coming in from a breakout room, so I didn't hear anything that was. What was
I
going on.
need a date in the chat box on Joey Contreras' client, Carlos Landon.
Okay. Just a 30-day reset?
Yes. All right, we're going to come back on December 14th. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. And if I don't see you again, have a fantastic Thanksgiving.
Oh, you too. Thank you so much.
All right, Judge. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, and then on Charles Montoya, you said that's going to be a plea?
I believe it is, Your Honor. And we could, if it's okay with the court, we could do it the week of the 29th.
All right, Norma, on Charles Montoya, can you give me a date the week of the 29th for a plea, please? So we'll come back on November 29th. And can you make sure that the state has your client's email address so they can get the paperwork done?
Yes, I'll send it to him today.
All right, you and your client are excused.
All right, I'll send it to Norma also. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else back from the breakout room? Mr. Montoya, you'll be back on the 29th of November for your plea. So you're excused. You're welcome. And I think everyone else is in breakout rooms. Galaxy 12 Pure, you have 2 minutes to turn on your video. If your video is not on, you're going to be required to appear in person. All right, Suzanne Kramer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I've got Isaac Brandley here. We set this yesterday for this morning on the motion for requesting a partial GPS I filed a couple weeks ago. And Mr. Brandley is in here somewhere.
All right, where is Mr. Brandley?
Mr. Brandley, I've been texting you, but remember I said when the judge calls your name, you need to unmute your video and audio so that you can talk to her. So you need to do that. I don't see him.
Galaxy, just one, sorry, Galaxy J2 Pure, you need to appear in person in the 187 District Court. I've told you several times to show your video. You continue not to show your video. All right, Isaac Brandley.
I know he's here because I've been texting him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, go to the next person, I guess.
All right, thank you. Laura Lefton.
Hi, Judge. We are ready to approach you on the violation report. I spoke with Meredith. And my
Okay.
client's in here, Santiago Aguilar.
All right, so Meredith, and Ms. Lufton, what is happening with this violation report?
Your Honor, he has been on bond since March. This is his first violation. It did happen back on October 13th, which was kind of, his wife passed away in the past year or so, and unfortunately it was their anniversary. So he did have a positive blow. However, by early evening, it was back to zero. He is in many support groups, is committed to sobriety.
All right, where's your client?
He's in here. Santiago, if you want to hit unmute, sir.
Aguilar, there he is.
Yeah. You need to hit unmute. You need to unmute your.
Is that better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Aguilar, what are your issues?
In the beginning, I had lost my wife, ma'am. As our anniversary came about, it was going to be our 26th already. I did drink that morning, about 10 or so. Not sure when it happened, but I was working on a project in my yard and I tried to move my vehicle, and when I did that, that's when I got the positive blow.
All right, Mr. Aguilar, I understand that life hits people at different times and in different ways.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're on bond for driving while intoxicated. So you're
Yes,
not
ma'am.
allowed to drink alcohol at all. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what are you doing to cope with?
I've been working with my pastor at church. I come daily. I do work. He does work with me. His name is Pastor Gordon, Willis Gordon. Our church is on 502 East South Cross, and I come daily to church. He does work with me throughout the day. He keeps me busy. He does counsel me daily. Since that date, I have been working with him even more diligently. I do want to keep my sobriety. I do have other. I still have my daughter that I'm seeing through college for, and she's going to get married soon. And I know I jeopardized what I did, and I accept the responsibility of it. But I am working towards my sobriety, ma'am.
As you know, when the holidays come up, that's usually the time where we really miss our relatives or our loved ones or friends who are not here. So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas is coming up, New Year's is coming up. All of these different holidays are coming up, which is family time. So
Yes,
how
ma'am.
are you? Well, what are your plans?
Yes, ma'am. Initially, I felt like I was alone, but I wasn't alone. I mean, my pastor is like always there. He reassures me that I do have family. I do have a family that to come to, and not to just to isolate myself. And that's what I was doing in the beginning. I was isolating myself, and so I've come to involve myself more in the church, involve myself and more with friends that can truly talk into my life, ma'am.
So here's my question. How are you going to, what are your plans for the holidays? Because holidays, you do get lonely. So how are you going to address the issues of not drinking alcohol during the holidays? What are your plans?
Surrounding myself with church family, ma'am.
Okay. All right, State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, the state is okay at this point with keeping the same bond conditions, given that this is his first violation. He came to court, or he came to Zoom court today on time, dressed professionally, being honest with this court. We feel like let's wait and see how it goes. If there's other issues, then we would ask for different bond conditions. But at this time, we're okay with continuing the same bond conditions, but we'll ultimately defer to the court.
All right, Mr. Aguilar, I'm going to continue on the same conditions, but when all of the classes you're taking, those are tools that you're supposed to use when you think about drinking. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
don't drink them anymore, because you know the biggest concern and the biggest concern I have, I don't take any of these charges as true because nothing has been proven to be true. But the biggest
ma'am.
concern that people have is someone driving intoxicated during the holidays, hitting somebody, killing somebody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, so I'm going to continue with the same conditions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Aguilar, thank you so much for being dressed professionally for Zoom and for taking this as a serious court hearing. Again.
Yes, ma'am.
Laura Lufton, you made it a Friday by filling in the box perfectly, and then your client made it a Friday by dressing appropriately and being professional. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully
Yes,
it's a sign of good things to come for us.
It will be. All
Thank
right.
you
Have
so
a
much,
great
Your
one,
Honor.
Mr. Aguilar.
You
Thank you.
too.
Ms.
Happy
Lufton.
holidays. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you,
Your
you
Honor.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Justin Fox.
Yes, Your Honor. So I've been conferring with the state. My client has cases that are pending in Dallas. He has an MTR over there. I've reached out to his attorney and just wanted to just proceed with caution, not wanting to mess anything up that's over there. We'll probably end up running something concurrent with what happens in Dallas. So at this time, I'd just like a 1-week reset. His Dallas attorney's in trial, but we're going to confer later this afternoon on Mr. Collins's case and try to come to a resolution by next week.
All right, because I am telling you, I'm looking at the docketing sheet, and in June, it was defendant in Dallas County in detention. So we'll recall this in a week. Ms. Ferguson, can we put this at the end of November?
Judge. Yes, so my client is on Zoom, Judge. He did make bond and he hasn't had any issues. But since he is now out on bond and I have that clear communication with his Dallas attorney, I think we'll be able to resolve everything quickly.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're going to come back on November 30th.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, may I
You're welcome.
approach Suzanne again on Isaac Brandley?
All right, just a second.
No problem.
All right, Ms. Kramer.
Yes, Isaac tells me he's trying to see if he can connect to Wi-Fi right now, but he tells me that where he lives, it's a very bad signal. He actually did tell me this yesterday. I just didn't see that text, and he can't leave to go to a place with a stronger signal. So unless he can connect to Wi-Fi, we're probably going to have to come downtown for this hearing. So I was telling him I'm downtown tomorrow for nuts and bolts. I would say if you could squeeze us in tomorrow morning. Don't know.
Oh, just
I would
confer
ask.
with the court coordinator and she'll set it. We're here every day
Okay,
from 9
that
to
sounds good.
5.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Judge, I
Yes.
just send you a
David Keonis. Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, your attorney is at an education course, so he won't be here today. So what we're going to do is we're going to recall your case for November 29th. That's the earliest we can put it, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience. Just remain seated. We will let the deputies know that you're excused. And Norma, that's 14M.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And everyone, just give me a moment to check my email to see if there's a document that needs to be signed. Okay. Derek Edmonds.
Judge, a visit with Marcus. We're asking you recall the case for December 3rd. We're waiting on some more, the last restitution numbers on the case.
All right, is this the recall for December 3rd? Is a state to provide you with how much is owed, or is your client paying restitution?
That is correct. How much the restitution the victim is asking for. And I said December 3rd, Judge, because yesterday I had 2 cases out of your court that were put in that same day. So I'm just getting the 3rd one on that day if possible.
All right. Norma, can we recall Xavier Acares for December 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
And Marcus says that should be enough time to get it from the complaining witness.
All right, you and your client are excused. See you back on December 3rd.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. You too.
Caitlin or Michelle or Joe Ray. Tim in 13 is actually family violence.
Okay, I'll hop right in there. Thank you.
Norma, can you get in touch with Suzanne Kramer? Her client has just zoomed in.
Yes, ma'am. Judge, I just sent you another chat.
All right, just 1 second. And Norma, just as she zooms in, her client leaves.
He really just left?
Yes, he really
Oh,
just left and he was right here.
Let me see if he can get back in, Judge.
All righty. All right, where is Jaden Green? Is he in custody, Norma?
No, he's not on bond, Judge.
Okay. So you're saying that case was reset for December 13th?
Yes, he has a co-defendant, Judge.
Okay.
And Ben Stevenson is the co-counsel on that one.
What, is he on Jaden Green as well, or is he on?
Oh,
the
I'm sorry,
other case?
he's the defendant's attorney on Alexis Morgan, I think that's his name. Morgan Field. And Valerie is,
they're
Valerie is just trying to
co-defendants?
get, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They're co-defendants. And Valerie's just been trying to get a hold of Ben Stevens, so I told her I would set it the same day so she can have time to talk to him.
All right. Okay, we'll see them then.
Judge, this is Don Wilson. If I could approach when you get a chance.
Sure, just one moment. Yes.
Judge, I've got Hillary Aliman this morning, and I don't believe she's appeared. I have not been able to reach her to speak to her. I've spoken to both. She has two different bail bonds companies. I've spoken to them. One of them has been in recent contact, and they're trying to reach her right now as we
All right. I give everyone till 10:30.
Okay. But aside from that, I've conferred with Brittany, and there's a misdemeanor that's pending on Miss Aliman, and it indicates a possible mental health component to it. And so Brittany is wanting to reset this case so that we can deal with the misdemeanor, and she'll probably TIC this as a part of a misdemeanor resolution.
All right, let's see if we can get your client zoomed in. Norma, your chat, you have a December 13th and a December 14th date.
Disregard that, Judge.
All right, thank you. And what date is Aaron Gordon to be recalled on?
That was December 14th, Judge.
All right, thank you. And then on Stelzig, when was that being recalled to? She's on page 5. All right, thank you. All right, Miguel Hernandez, you're back.
Yes, Judge. May I speak with Mr. Saunders? I have a counter offer that maybe we can start getting this settled.
I'll see you to number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
And Marcus Sanders, if you could go to 3, please. And Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can you see if you can get Joseph Stateson back in here? I think he forgot about Albert Conta Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
They're in a breakout room, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Megan Enriquez.
Yes, Judge. I'm done conferring with Caitlin Wilkes on the case, and she has made us an offer today. I've conveyed it to the client, but I need some time to go into the DA's office to watch the trial tape interview and also talk to the family. So we just need a reset if that's okay.
Norma, on Manuel Martinez, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, it'll be coming back on December 15th.
Okay, perfect, Judge. Thank you so much. Maybe excused?
Yes, and the discovery that you want to see, I'm assuming it's something that you have to arrange with the district attorney's office to visit with, correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you and your client are excused. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, Judge.
Sure. All right, Tim Molina.
Hello again, Judge.
Yes.
I've conferred with the state and with my client. This is a brand new indictment as a habitual. I just need some more time to go over discovery with him and confer.
I'm sorry, just 1 second. We're finally able to get Isaac. Isaac, if you go to breakout room number 2, your attorney is waiting for you there. So you should see it pop up for you to go to a breakout room. Just a moment, Tim, we've been waiting for him for 40 minutes. He's been zooming in and out. All right.
All right.
We're back. All right, Mr. Molina, what's going on?
Just that, like I was saying, it's a brand new indictment as a habitual offender. I've conferred with the state and my client. I just need more time to investigate things and go over discovery with them.
Okay. Was the state able to make you an offer or no?
A loose offer, but
Okay.
Offer-ish.
Okay. I'll put it down as an offer-ish.
A minimum offer was made. Yes.
All right, Norma, can I have a 30-day reset on Eugene Salazar? All right, so we're going to come back on December 15th. And is your client in custody or on bond?
he is in custody. I can go back in the breakout room and tell him he's done, or if somebody could pull him in, but he's in room 13.
All right. Norma, can you let them know 14J is excused? For some reason, it's not allowing me to pull him into the main room.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Judge.
great rest of your day.
Okay, thank you.
Isaac, were you able to go to the breakout room with your attorney? Mr. Brandley?
I can't get in the break room, ma'am.
Okay. So just give me 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm having your attorney come back to the main room and we'll see if we can get you there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Suzanne Kramer, your attorney is here and I'm trying to talk him into a breakout room. So, Mr. Brantley, are you on a cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what type of cell phone is it? Is it an iPhone or an Android?
Android.
Brenda, I was hoping he would say iPhone. Then I could turn it over to you.
I just broke my iPhone.
Okay, so I have an Android, so I'm supposed to know all things Android. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you to breakout room number 4. Do you see anything that says breakout room on your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, click on that. And do you see where it's inviting you to go to number 4?
It's not letting me click on it.
And
All right, but-
Judge, doesn't, I've been talking to him about this for the last couple of days and fairly extensively this morning. So I don't necessarily need to go into a breakout room with them. If you want to just have the hearing when you can get to us on the docket.
Okay, we will take it up as soon as he comes back. I think he clicked the wrong
Yeah.
thing and he got kicked out. So I think
Oh,
he's
no, I
going to
see
zoom
him.
back
I
in.
see him on the screen. Yeah. He's got his video muted, but I see him on the screen.
Yeah, it won't let me click on the break room.
Okay, well, she says that she's spoken to you about it. Just give us a second. See if you can start your video again.
Okay.
All right, Joseph Stateson.
Your Honor, would I be able to have Meredith and the court reporter in room 10 to take a record?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. I'll wait in room 10.
All right, thank you. And Meredith, if you could go to 10, and Brenna, if you will go to breakout room number 10. Okay, and then Mr. Brantley, let me see if I can find your motion. Just give me 1 second. To the clerks, could you bring me back the motion on Isaac Randley? I sent it back because I thought he was not going to be able to appear. Could you bring that motion back to me, please? Thank you. Just give us a moment and we'll take it up.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Robert. All right, who's the prosecutor on this?
Your Honor, Michelle Hayden.
All right, so we're going to go on the record in a little bit because Brenda's in the breakout room, but is there any objections to him taking his daughters to doctor's appointments and obtaining employment or going?
Judge, I do have an objection to him not being on full house arrest. I sent you a couple exhibits. He was just convicted of assault family violence in March 2021 in another county. And then he was arrested for assault, second choking in August, arrested again in October for assault, second choking. Both of those cases are the same victim. He's also got a fairly extensive criminal record, including felon in possession of firearm.
All right,
So I really feel like.
Let me add, because we're not on the record, let me ask you this, Ms. Kramer. The daughter that he wants to take to doctor's appointments, is this a daughter that is the daughter with the complainant?
Honestly, Judge, I didn't ask him that. We would need to ask Mr. Brantley that. Did we lose him?
He's still connecting to the audio. So these
Okay.
are the questions the court wants to know. I want to know whether or not the daughter is the daughter of the complainant.
Okay.
And then I want to know when the doctor's appointments are.
Well, and I did tell him when I was preparing this motion, trying to get more specific information, in terms of if you granted it for the order, and I can supply that for the order because we don't have it yet, where he would go, what routes he would travel, when he would go, and, you know, trying to find a job where, because I know that he has a specific job in mind. He just has to get there to physically do the interview.
Well,
And if
I will tell
wanna
you
know
what.
that for the GPS device.
Well, let me just
Yeah.
tell you what the court is considering. I think parents should be allowed to go to doctor's appointments. However, if it is the child of the complainant, that means that the complainant is going to be at the doctor's appointment, then I'm not going to allow that.
Okay. You know, and the way that he was talking to me about it, I didn't get the impression. I think I just saw him back on that. I got the impression that he was like the main caretaker of this child. Isaac, you need to unmute your video. The judge has a couple questions for you. I think this is his first time ever Zooming, Judge, so he's kind of trying
All
to
right.
work
Well,
out.
let's do this because Ms. Kramer, the court is going to want some documentation. If he's saying he has to take a daughter to a doctor's appointment, then I need documentation to that.
That's fine. And I did ask him for more specifics before I filed the motion, but he wasn't able to give me any. But so I went ahead and just filed it anyway. So
it may be best to recall, and then we can see about his video.
Okay, that sounds good. Or maybe in person if we can't get this any better than what we have now.
Yes. So let's do that.
Okay. Norma had agreed to let us come down there in person tomorrow because we thought we weren't going to be able to do this today, and maybe we can still do that. I'm sure I can.
Sure.
Well, I may
I'm
not be
fine
able
with
to
that.
get documentation by tomorrow, but I'll let Norma know.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Isaac, you can go ahead and sign off, and I'll get a hold of you on the phone.
All right. Joseph Stateson on Albert Conta Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor. And let me make sure Mr. Cota Gonzalez is here. He is not. Can we bring him back to the main room before we begin?
Sure. Let me see.
All right, I see him. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. So where are we on this case?
Defense counsel has received a plea offer. It's been conveyed to defendant. Defendant has rejected, but defendant has informed us that he wishes to hire retained counsel.
All right. Have you received all the discovery?
To our knowledge, we have multiple body camera, dash camera, and the PDF reports. The request that we had made for additional discovery was satisfied.
All right. So Norma, on Mr. Conta Gonzalez, can I have a 30-day reset? All right. So we're going to come back on December 15th. Mr. Conta Gonzalez, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You need to have, if you're going to hire an attorney, that attorney needs to be hired by December 15th. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If that is all from both parties, then Mr. States, it's a pleasure as always. You are excused. Norma, you can let them know that L12 can go back.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. Everyone, just give me 2 minutes, please. Okay. And Brenda, here we go. It's not working. I'm crossing my fingers. It's Friday. It's working. Who are the parties on Kavonda Jackson?
Marcus and Billis.
All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 58968, State of Texas versus Kavonda Jackson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Phyllis Beal.
And are you Kavonda Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Jackson, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case? And did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Jackson, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Jackson, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Of no contest, yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jackson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, but can I ask you a question? I just want to make sure that once I complete everything, it's not going to go on my record. I've run over it with Ms. Beal, but I have to ask again. I'm sorry.
No, what will end up happening is if you successfully complete the deferred adjudication, it will show on your record that you were placed on deferred adjudication and you successfully completed it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. All right. Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a
Yes.
U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's a $57 restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
All right, off the record for a moment. Phyllis, is that a raccoon? I mean, that tail on the back is striped like a raccoon. I mean, do you have a raccoon in the...
This is a cat that's part Siamese, and she helps. She's my assistant.
No problem. All right, we're back on. Brenda, it looks like a raccoon tail because it was striped.
It's because,
and Judge, your real time should be working now.
Yeah.
It's because when you have like a part Siamese cat, instead of their tail being totally black, sometimes it'll come out kind of stripy. And we have a brother that's orange, so I have no idea how that all works out, but you know.
All right, I'm I am learning new things. You know, people say you're not alive if you don't learn something new every day. I just learned something. All right, we're back on the record. So I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Yes.
No, I'm asking your defense attorney. Have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor, there are no motions.
Okay. Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. And there be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am. So you don't have to follow them?
No, that's outside the plea bargain agreement. Okay. And to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, the state opera states Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Jackson, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right, for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we're just asking it, you follow the agreement. She has children and she's just wanting to take care of her kids and be a good mom.
All right. Ms. Jackson, who is Raymond Bird?
That's my boyfriend.
Are you still with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he live with you?
We do live together.
All right. How many children do you have?
4.
What are their ages?
14, 11, 9, and 8.
And is he the father?
No, they're with my mother, and that's what I was explaining to my attorney. CPS had taken them, and it's hard.
All right, let me ask you this. How often are you using? Here's the thing. Wait a minute. Wait. Before we go there, let me tell you something. Number one, when people deserve treatment and the community can be protected, I want to give them treatment because we don't want you back here again.
Yes,
your mom just wants to be grandmother to her children, to her grandchildren. She doesn't want to be mom.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you these questions so I can get you the help that you need. But you're going to have to be honest with me. So let's start with this. When you're tested for drugs today, what are the results going to be?
I will probably have some in my system.
And what are you going to probably have in your system?
Ice.
So how often are you using? And here's the thing. I work with people. I've had clients that I've represented, parents who were involved in CPS cases. And this is what I would always tell them. And this is what I'm going to tell you. Today is Friday, November 18th at 10:31 a.m., according to my computer.
Yes,
this is where you are today. This is not your future. This is the present. You're working towards a better future. In order to get there to that better future, you got to be honest with me. So how often are you using?
I don't use all the time. I think maybe a week ago today. Probably about a week ago.
See, if you used a week ago today, you wouldn't be positive today.
Well, I don't know how long it stays in your system.
If you used a week ago today,
I've been using it for like a year now.
Okay,
And
when did you start using?
Probably around the end of October of last year.
And when did you meet Raymond Bird?
I met him in
October of last year?
No,
around that
I
time?
met him before then. I met him in October of 2019.
All right, I'm going to give you some home truths, as my grandmother used to call it. If you want custody of your children back, you can't be with someone who's using drugs. Because if the person you're with is using drugs and you're trying to be sober, you're going to end up using drugs.
Mind over matter.
If you hang around a barber shop, whether you intend to or not, you're going to end up getting a haircut if you hang around there long enough. If you're serious about getting your children back, you can't be around someone who's in the throes of their addiction because you're in the throes of your addiction and you're not strong enough. It's sort of like me. If I'm trying to give up chocolate, I can't go to a dinner where everybody around me is eating chocolate because somebody's going to say, Stephanie, have a taste. This tastes so good. And of course, I'll try to be strong. But at the end of the day, we already know what's going to happen. Yes, I will try your chocolate dessert. Yes, this is good. Let me order some. So you've got to get your life in order. And if you want to be a parent to your children, you got to be a parent to your children. Your 14-year-old, your 11-year-old, your 9-year-old, your 8-year-old, let me just tell you what they're thinking. They're putting their trust in you that you're going to get your life together and get them back. I know in Child Protective Services cases, they're arranged for parents to have visits with their children. But you got to be clean to visit. And if you're not clean, what ends up happening, your children are sitting at the window waiting for their mom to visit them. And then they're like, Mom can't visit. And then they're going to find out that mom is not clean. And then let me tell you what the 14-year-old, 11-year-old, and 9-year-old are going to think. They're going to think that mom chose boyfriend over them.
No, my kids were taken 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's not because of drugs or anything like that. I was in an abusive relationship and the system failed to help me. So that's why my kids were taken and hadn't been given back. There was an incident that happened during that time, and I was supposed to have left him, which he came to the hotel that I was at and barged in there. The people that worked there, they all told the police and everything. He was arrested and taken. But because of that, they told me they didn't know if I could stay away from him.
Here's the thing, Ms.
And-
Jackson, you still have a chance to be in your children's life,
Yes,
even
I'm-
though it sounds like your parental rights have been terminated. But if you're using drugs, you can't be in your children's life because you're not a good influence. If you're around people who are using drugs, you can't be in your children's life because you're not a good influence. And you can't bring guys around your children who are using drugs because they're not a good influence. So you have some choices to make. And here are your choices. Your choice is the man I'm with, who is a threat to my sobriety. Do I give him up, or do I continue to live with him and have him be a threat to my sobriety? Because I'm telling you, you are not going to be able to complete this deferred adjudication that I'm about to give you successfully if you're going to be with someone who's using drugs, period. Two people are using ice together, they're going to use ice together.
What can you offer me? Like,
Okay. I'm about to do this right now. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 years deferred adjudication, $57 to San Antonio Police Department for drug testing, 120 hours of community service restitution, 40 hours of those will be waived if you provide proof that you've obtained the COVID vaccination. I'm not forcing or requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be deducted. The court will not allow a buyout. Okay, we've lost your, okay. The court will not allow a buyout of community service hours. I want her transferred, do an expedited evaluation for drug court. So for felony drug court, how far did you go in school?
I was 12th grade.
Did you graduate?
No.
Why not?
Stupid.
All right, so here's the thing. We're getting intelligent now, so it's fine. Remember what I said. This is where you are now. We're trying to improve your future. So she is going to obtain a GED or either some sort of, get into some kind of trade school. When's the last time you had employment?
It's been a while.
All right, I'm going to want proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want, you're not allowed to work in a daycare. You're not allowed to be a home health care provider.
That's all I do though.
Well, let me ask you this question.
I've only worked in nursing homes. And
yeah, well, we can't have that because those are vulnerable people. Let me ask you this question. If I came to you and I told you I was going to be positive for drugs, would you want me babysitting your children?
I mean, no.
All right, so that's what you're doing. You're working for people who are extremely vulnerable.
Okay, I'm not an addict, but I did use.
All right.
No.
So I'm going to want parenting classes, the UA hotline. I'm going to want random field visits 2 times per month. There's going to be weekly Zoom reporting until accepted and transferred to felony drug court. And if felony drug court doesn't accept her, then I'm going to want intensive outpatient treatment. And I'm going to want a UA today to test her for levels. Those levels need to start going down, Ms. Jackson. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am, I think you got everything.
Ms. Jackson, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Do you understand, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, I understand.
All right. So, Ms. Jackson, you're gonna have to make some changes, and you're gonna have to get employed.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Judge, CPS compliance.
Yes, CPS compliance as well.
Mikey, I'm not with CPS anymore. My kids and stuff. Not saying that I'm not willing to still do what I have to do, but I'm just letting you know that.
No, I understand that you're telling me your rights either have been terminated or you relinquished your rights. But if something pops up, if there is a CPS case out there, then you're going to have to be in compliance with CPS. You understand?
Yes, I understand that.
All right. And I want you to start working because your mom needs help supporting those children. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. And probation will go over conditions with you.
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Jackson. Yes. Cornelius Cox, who do you have?
I have Carlos Romero in his criminal trial.
May I have the excuse, Your Honor?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Bill. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5. Carolyn Whitland, who do you have?
Matthew Burke, Your Honor. It's family violence. I just sent a message to Caitlin. I don't know whose it is, but it's family violence. So if I can confer with whoever has that.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Donald Wilson, your client, do you know where she is?
No, I don't, Judge. Like I was saying earlier, I've talked to both her bail bonds people. One of them has had recent contact and they're trying to find her. The numbers I have appear to be working numbers, but they don't get an answer.
All right. You tell me your client has mental health issues. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to recall it for tomorrow, but she'll need to be here tomorrow. And if you're able to get in touch with her before then, just let us know, because as you know, we're here from 9 to 5.
Right. Will do, Judge.
All right. Thank you for your patience.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, Norma, on Almond, if we can recall that for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And Richard Garcia zoomed back in, but then he zoomed back out. Oh. Sure. Oh, sure. And can you check on something for me? Sure. Richard Garcia, I'm sorry, Miguel Hernandez.
Yes, Judge, I spoke to Marcus. He made me an offer. I spoke to my client. He made a counter. I spoke to Marcus. He made a counter, but my client doesn't want to accept his counter. So
All right, who's your client?
Antonio Melendez, he wants a trial, Judge.
All right, and let me see if we can get your client back into the main room.
He's a Spanish speaker also, Judge.
And I don't see him anywhere,
He
so.
was in the breakout room. I told him to stay there. I think we're in 3 or.
No, he's not showing in the breakout room at all.
Oh, well, maybe he got up and left.
All right, Norma, can you have Antonio Melendez come back, and we'll need an interpreter, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll take care of it.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
The sticky notes have the dates when they were placed on.
Okay.
There's a package one.
All right, thank you. And Richard Garcia, where are we on your case?
Ready on a plea, we need an interpreter.
Okay. All right, we are getting the interpreter. right. Who just came into the room? 'Cause somebody just let someone in who rang the doorbell. All right, I guess it's the phantom doorbell, Brenda. It's still Halloween.
Keeping it real. Norma. Norma.
Is
Yes,
there
sir.
something you need, Mr. Cox?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, I didn't know you were on, Judge. There was a pause in the action. I just don't know, could I see my client in the breakout room for a few minutes, few moments?
Yes. I'll
And
send you number 4 and
I've
Mr.
conferred
Romero.
already. And I conferred already, Judge.
All right, Mr. Romero, if you go to 4, please. Hello, Norma.
Hello.
How are you doing? We're going to have 2 people for you today. One
Okay.
is in the courtroom. And so what I will do is have you speak with her and the attorney. The attorney is a Spanish speaker, so I know that he's already gone over everything with them in Spanish. So I didn't
Okay.
know if you need to probably speak to them as well. And also we need you to swear them in,
Yes,
or at least
Judge.
interpret the swearing in.
Yes,
So
Judge.
what I'll do is I'll send you to breakout room number 1. And Mr. Garcia, if you could go back to 1, and to the clerks, if you could go to 1, and to the courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please.
And Judge, I explained everything in Spanish too.
No, but the clerks need the interpreter to swear them in.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you. Mr. Cox?
Sorry,
You're
yes,
on
ma'am.
mute.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, Judge. On Carlos Romero, I confer with the state judge. The case that's set is a part of a larger investigation, which is still with the intake attorney. So at this point, there's still discovery. There's still issues that we.
Can you do me a favor, Mr. Cox? Your client is
Yes,
still
ma'am.
in breakout room number 4. Can you go back to number 4 and have him come to the main room?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I'll be right back.
All right, thanks. Ms. Ferguson, Norma, on Carlos Romero, can I have a 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be the 14th, Judge, December 14th.
Okay. All right, Mr. Romero, we're going to call you back on December 14th, and Mr. Cox, we'll see where we are in discovery at that time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
And Norma, can you let them know Romero 14H can go back?
And it's always a pleasure, Judge, to be in the 187th District Court, because here things are kept real, and I like it.
You have to. Thank you very much.
I was observing the court earlier. The court keeps it real, and I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, Judge.
All right, bye-bye. And Norma, what is the ETA on Miguel Hernandez's client coming back?
Let me check on that, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and if everyone can make sure that they are on the English channel. And then we will start.
Your Honor, I don't know if Mr. Rios has been assisted with that. I don't know if he's in Spanish yet.
All right, to the courtroom, could you make sure that he is on Spanish, please?
We're ready, Ida, there, Judge.
Okay.
Okay.
Sí. Sí.
All right. Thank you. And is everyone else able to hear? Richard Garcia, are you able to hear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, Richard, you need to switch to the other channel.
Can you hear me?
Yes. And they're bringing me the paperwork. And which case is your client pleading to, Mr. Garcia?
To the injury to elderly.
Okay. And then Norma, we'll need Mr. Hernandez to come back as well. All right, the court is calling. Oops, I forgot, Brenda, let me change us. Who is the prosecutor on this case?
Sure, Judge.
Okay. All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 8878, State of Texas versus Guadalupe Rios. We have an interpreter here. That interpreter is Norma Nero. If I could have you raise your right hand for me, please, Ms. Nero. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English, so help you God? Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Garcia.
For the defense?
Judge Richard Garcia for the defense, ready?
And are you Guadalupe Rios?
Sí.
All right, Mr. Garcia, we do have an interpreter here. Are you able to speak Spanish fluently?
Yes, Your Honor.
I asked these questions, Richard, and I already know the answer to them, but I'm asking them for the record.
I'm also a Mexican citizen, so I have a dual citizenship.
Oh, wow. Do you want to give us more information? All right. So, Mr. Garcia, all of these documents that I'm going to go over with your client are in English. Were you able to go over with him those documents in Spanish?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Rios, the documents I'm going to go over with you are in English. Was your attorney able to present those to you in the Spanish language?
Sí.
All right. Did you review a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Sí.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. The court will note for the record that the defendant is actually in person in the courtroom. Mr. Rios, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney?
Sí.
Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Sí.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery, and as previously stated, the court is finding that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr.
Judge,
Rios? Yes.
I'm sorry, I just for the record, this is the case in which you appointed Teresa Coles Davila to do a Padilla letter because Mr. Rios Rabago is not a U.S. citizen.
Yes, Mr. Garcia, I will go over that document with you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. But thank you for reminding me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Rios, did you review a document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney, and did you understand it?
See.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rios, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions? Did you understand it, and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
See.
Did you understand what you're charged with is injury to the elderly, bodily injury? That is a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
See.
Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
See.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
See.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
See.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
See.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
See.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, he has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rios, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
See.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
Mr. Garcia, now's the time with regards to his non-citizenship. Was an immigration attorney appointed to represent him in this case as it relates to any immigration issues or questions?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, you appointed Attorney Teresa Coles Davila to do what's called a Padilla letter. We've conferred with her. The defendant, Mr. Rios, has spoken with her several times, and the letter indicates that he has entered the United States illegally, and any plea in this case will be a deportable offense. And so Mr. Rios understands that he will be deported. And I've discussed all these consequences with him, and he still wanted to proceed.
All right, Mr. Rios, were you advised of the consequences of entering into a plea agreement in this case in the application of federal immigration law?
Sí.
Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or the denial of naturalization?
Sí.
Do you understand the consequences of entering into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Sí.
And are you entering into a plea bargain agreement in this case freely and voluntarily?
Sí.
Mr. Garcia, do you believe your client understands the consequences of entering into a plea bargain agreement in this case as it relates to his immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, I spoke to him for quite some time and tried to persuade him not to take the plea, but he decided this was in his own best interest.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. According to the plea bargain agreement, there's to be a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Mercedes Sanchez, no PET ownership, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Are there any cases being taken in consideration?
Yes, Judge, there is. And I apologize, it wasn't on the plea docket or plea sheet. The cause number that we're taking into consideration is 2021 CR 9156.
Mr. Garcia, did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rios, did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Sí.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Sí.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Sí.
Did you review the paragraph with your attorney entitled Waiver of Appeal? Did you understand it, and did you sign it in both places?
Sí.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Sí.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, the BIPP course, and drug or alcohol treatment. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Sí.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No me pongo.
State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Rios, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations?
Sí.
Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Sí.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Sí.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Sí.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, just the fact that I had advised him to take the case to trial and he opted to take responsibility knowing that he's going to be deported. So we're asking that you follow the plea bargain.
All right, Mr. Rios, is there anything you wish to say?
No.
All right, Mr. Rios, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Limpio.
Are you employed?
Sí.
What do you do?
A la carpintería.
Where's the other bird? Where is the other bird? B-I-R-D. I'm sorry, my Southern accent. Yes. I have a trouble with that in all. So there we go. So there were two birds in this incident. So one bird did not live. So where's the second bird?
El otro se encuentra con mi señora.
It just sounds so wrong to say my woman.
Judge, just the way that it's interpreted, mi señora
Okay.
means my wife.
The one I love.
Right.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. There's a $1,500 fine, probated, taking consideration 2021 CR 9156. No contact with Mercedes Sanchez. There's to be no pet ownership. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. 5 years deferred adjudication. The BIP course, 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you've completed the COVID vaccinations. The court is not forcing anyone to obtain the vaccination, but if you do, 40 of the hours will be deducted. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting to probation. Random field visits. 1 time per month.
Sí.
Regular UAs. And you're not allowed to enter the US illegally. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No.
Mr. Rios, is there anything else that you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
Mr. Rios, did you review a document with your attorney entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal? And did you understand it?
Sí.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Sí.
And because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Sí.
All right, with that, we will close the record. Mr. Rios, good luck to you. Mr. Rios, I'm going to send you to a breakout room so that probation can go over conditions with you. And Ms. Nero, before you go into the breakout room to go over conditions with him, if you could remain, because there's one other person I need interpretation for.
Judge, I'm needed on that as well.
No, you're not needed on this one. And Mr. Garcia, you can go to a breakout room with your client, or either you can be excused.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Ms. Nero, we're going to be off the interpretation channel because Mr. Melendez, it would take a lot to do that. All right. This is Antonio Lucio Melendez, Ms. Nero. Oh, and I'm sorry, Ms. Nero, if you could go back on the regular channel and not on the interpretation channel for me, please, because he's not on the interpretation channel.
Go, you talk freely, okay? You're not holding the mic.
Antonio Melendez.
Sí. Sí.
Oh, Ms. Nero, we can't hear you. Let me tell her. Mr. Melendez?
Sí. Sí, sí la oigo.
He can hear you, Judge.
Yes. Okay, yes, so I took us off of channels because he's not on the Spanish channel. Okay, yes. So you could stay on this because he is not on, the separate channel. Yes. Oh, is there a reason why you can't? Because let me manage just 1 second. Okay, let's try
Okay,
it now.
yes, okay.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Sí,
Señor
ya.
Meléndez, ¿me escucha?
Sí.
Ok, yo voy a ser su intérprete, ok? Un
Ok.
momento. Ujú.
All right, Mr. Melendez, we're not on the record, but your attorney has told me an offer has been presented to you. and you're
Señor
rejecting
Meléndez,
that offer.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, the interpreter didn't hear the last part.
And you're rejecting the offer.
Okay. Ok, señor Meléndez, en este momento no nos encontramos en el acta, pero se me ha informado que su abogado me ha informado que a usted se le ha hecho una oferta, pero que usted está rechazando la oferta.
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Melendez, your plea deadline date has expired.
Y, señor Meléndez, la fecha para que usted se declare ya se venció.
This case has been pending since 2020.
Este caso ha estado pendiente desde el 2020.
Sí.
Yes.
So this will be a jury trial.
Entonces su caso va a ser ahora un caso con juicio conjurado.
Okay.
You're going to be given a date in December.
Se le va a dar una fecha en diciembre.
Diciembre.
And at that time, you will be given your actual jury trial date.
Y en esa fecha en diciembre se le va a dar, de hecho, la fecha de cuándo va a ser su juicio conjurado.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're coming back on December 15th.
Entonces vamos a regresar en diciembre 15.
15 de diciembre, okay.
Yes, December 15th.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
And,
gracias.
Gracias.
And Ms. Nara, I'm going to send you to a breakout room, number 1.
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
the other client will meet you there. And so if the courtroom could go to number 1, and Rebecca, if you could go to number 1, and Norma, you can let them know that Mr. Melendez can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. All right, Norma, do you have an update on Leslie Sakwanowicz on Paul Juarez? Yes, what is happening on Juarez?
I'm trying to type. couldn't type.
Okay, all right, thank you. And we also need Raphael Leal.
Yes, ma'am. I sent him a text, Judge, but he hasn't responded.
Leslie Sekunowicz.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I am, I could not locate my client. I called the four.
Okay, time out, just a second. Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 6105, State of Texas versus Paul Joseph Juarez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the
Leslie
defense?
Sakhanovich, Mr. Juarez.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:45 a.m. Your client, Mr. Paul Joseph Juarez, has not appeared on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura or Deputy Mejia, has Mr. Paul Juarez been in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Sekunowicz, have you had any contact with your client?
No, Your Honor. I had 4 different phone numbers. I called. He had a PR bond. I tried to call PR bond office and not been successful.
All right. Is he on a PR bond for this case?
That's what I was told by the clerks in the office
All right.
yesterday.
All right. Thank you. State?
Your Honor, the state would ask that you forfeit any bond and issue a warrant.
All right. I'm going to issue a judge's warrant and remand your client without bond.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
May I be excused?
Yes. Mr. Gomez, your attorney, Mr. Raphael Leal, is not here. So we are actually going to recess at noon today. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had contact with your attorney?
On my last court date, yes.
All right, just give us a moment. Ms. Wentland?
Hi, Judge. So I am back to report. Caitlin and I spent a lot of time together because she's pretty new to this case and there's a lot of things going on with it. This is a case where there actually is, the complainant on this case actually is a perpetrator of family violence in multiple incidents against my client. So they are going to be getting me a lot more discovery. I mean, they gave me some of it, but she and I went through everything today of all of the, to get the calls for service and the videos and everything of the numerous assault cases that exist by the complainant in this case. So, because it's
So where we were last time on this, on August 13th, there was a video issue. And then on September 24th, there was a video that was needed or a missing video. So
I think
all
it's
the videos been given.
It's been, well, in part, yes. The situation on this case, Judge, is it's going to be, it comes down to a self-defense type of issue. And so they're looking for, and they're getting me all of the stuff. And there's a pending case in county court with the complainant. And so they've provided me some. Caitlin and I have never talked on this case. And I think it was always David Martin. So I have not gotten all of it, but Caitlin and I just went through a big list, and she is going to be getting all the stuff that we just discussed. So there's actually more than just one video. There's a lot of other stuff that she is going to be getting and providing me that goes along with this case.
Okay. All right, let me get her into this room. Just 1 second.
She was making some phone calls on this case too. So she's making some phone calls. The court might remember this is a situation where the complainant in this case won't move out of his house, and it's a problem. So she actually has a bond condition that she's not supposed to be there, but my client cannot go home. So Caitlin is trying to help to facilitate that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can I,
Yes,
on this
ma'am.
case, can I get the first date in January?
Yes, ma'am.
Can it be after I'm gone? Let me see. Let me just look at. I am gone through the 16th of January. So can it be after that, please? Because I'm going to Colorado that week. I'm leaving the 7th through the 16th.
Why don't you just throw that out there for us who are not going to Colorado? She's gonna be like, I'm going to Colorado. I'm gonna enjoy hot chocolate, get some skiing in.
I'm going next week. I'm going next week as well. I will tell you, but I will say this.
How she throws that out there, Brenda.
I will say this, I have not taken vacations, and this is coming from a person who used to get to go to Europe and be back and forth all the time, and I'm feeling very claustrophobic.
Well, let me just tell you, I miss, as everyone knows, I would go to Paris every year, and I haven't been there, seems like in forever now. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back on January 18th. On January 18th, everyone needs to have all the discovery done on this case, because we've been here on discovery since June. And I know there's been a switch in prosecutors. So January 18th, everybody should have whatever discovery they're supposed to have. So
Judge, sorry, I was just speaking with the attorney that represents the complainant in this case. And I think I just got her contact, and I think that she and I and Carolyn are going to have a discussion about things that could affect bond conditions. And so we're actively working on that. And I have a comprehensive list of everything that's outstanding that Ms. Whitland and Mr. Burke need.
Okay, so we're going to come back on January 18th. Mr. Burke, could you unmute yourself, please, for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we're going to come back on January 18th. That's to make sure that your attorney has all the discovery that she's entitled to. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And it will be by Zoom unless I'm instructed otherwise.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there's nothing else, then Ms. Whitland, you are free to go to Colorado.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge. And I will tell you this, I will share this with you as well. Since when I had my foster puppies, I showed the court my 3 foster puppies. Something that makes it difficult to travel is we now adopted 2 of those. So like now I have 2 dogs that I have to accommodate for with traveling.
Which 2 did you adopt?
We let the white one get adopted first. So the 2 that look more like German Shepherds, we have both of those. My son has one. My son has one right now because we're trying to prevent littermate syndrome. So he has one with him at school, but then they just got back together last week, and then they'll be back together this next week. So yeah, we have 2 of them now. I'll have to show you a picture.
All right, you'll have to do that. All right, have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye. Have a good day.
All
And
right,
Caitlin,
bye-bye.
you and I just get with me.
Yeah, I'll send you an email and then we can set up a time to all discuss the house
Okay,
thing.
perfect.
Okay.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes, thank you so much for coming. Have a great rest of your day.
You're welcome. You too, Judge. Good to see you. Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Gomez, we're going to recall you for tomorrow to
Yes,
have
ma'am.
your attorney Zoom in, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience. It's appreciated.
I appreciate you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Oh, thank you. Number 14, I can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, dare I say it? I think I've checked the docketing sheet. I think that is our last case for today. And you know what? Whenever, Brenda, whenever it's the last case for the day, everybody is popping on. They're happy. The smiles are bigger. Where's Marcus? Oh, Marcus is not here. All right, so we will be coming back tomorrow.
Marcus is working hard, Judge.
Okay. We're going to be back tomorrow. Of course, the one that's being recalled from this docket for tomorrow will be Leroy Gomez. And that's the one where there's a discovery compliance issue. I don't know if that's criminal trial or family violence. At least I'm assuming the aggravated robbery case is criminal trial, but I'm not 100% certain. But so that'll be coming back for discovery compliance for tomorrow.
He already picked up the discs. So I don't know what else there is, but.
Well, if somebody can reach out to him to see if he has everything, then that way we won't have to bring his client from the jail since they're shorthanded. But if he doesn't, that's the only one that will be coming back. So guys, I'm going to sign off the live stream. Say bye to whomever you want to say bye to. All right.